Players, I hope you guys are fabulous. My name is Tumi and this is Young Brook and Fabulous. If it's your first time here, you are not a slayer yet. To become a slayer, all you need to do is click subscribe, hit the notification bell and the all options so you don't miss a notification every time I post a new video. And if you're a returning slayer, welcome back, babe. I appreciate you. So guys, we are back with another mental health awareness video. And this one is to spread awareness about the harmful things you say to people with mental illnesses, and also to people with mental illnesses to just know that they are not alone in this, and to just show that people basically are assholes to all of us, basically. What I did, it was not long ago, so I didn't get I got a lot of responses for a video because I want to keep this video at 15 minutes, but because I got so many, I want to read all of them first and then I'm going to talk about my experience, because I've also gotten all of these responses. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I recently did a mental health video with Sipho Didibane on Happily Ever Didibane, and we talked about my mental health journey, and also we talked about obviously my passion for fashion, but most of the video content was based on my mental illness and everything. And the comments that were received were very good, but I did receive, there was a comment that, like, I laughed at it because for me, I'm so used to people saying these things and not realizing that they are being very ignorant, or they're giving very bad advice. Like, it's very bad advice for someone who's mentally ill. So I took to Instagram and Facebook and asked people that have suffered with mental illnesses okay, I'll put it here, but the question was, so I said I want to record a video about bad mental health advice I've gotten from people after disclosing my condition. If you have a mental health condition and have gotten unsolicited advice, also the advice is always unsolicited. Guys, if someone is not asking you for advice, don't give them advice because they didn't ask you. And then that makes no sense, or like unsolicited advice or comments that make no sense, please share. So I got some responses on Facebook and I got some responses on Instagram. I will not be sharing people's names. I'm not gonna name and shame anyone that has said anything to me. I'm gonna name and shame myself for maybe having made ignorant comments to someone that might have shared a mental illness with me, or I might have given unsolicited advice, because sometimes we do it unconsciously until after you realize, like, you know what, it was not my place to actually give that advice. So somebody said, in a group of friends, I said I feel out of place, uncomfortable and unwanted, and their friend said it will go away, have patience. Oh. And then another person was like, they said he must smoke weed, it will help him with his mental illness. And this one, Jimmy, was coming from me, because I always say this. I think you guys saw in my previous video that I made about being in a bad space. I always give people advice. I'm not saying don't get medical help, but to boost your positivity, I always say make a list of everything that you are grateful for in the morning, so that you can for me, I did say in that video, it gave me like that tiny bit of light to hold on when everything was dark. So I do give people that advice, but now I realize, like, it's unsolicited advice and it's not the best advice, so it doesn't make sense. Have you so the thing is, have you tried making a list? And then I'll go on my responses on Instagram. This one people get a lot. Problems are part of life. You'll get over it. You need to pray harder. Woo. Someone out there has it way worse than you. You should be grateful. this one, people say it all the time. If you are suffering with depression or have a bad period, or you're not happy with where you are and it's making you very depressed, people will tell you that you must be grateful. But okay, let me read all of them before I talk about this, because if I talk while I read, I'm gonna take time. How can you be depressed when your parents do everything for you? You'll get over it. You just want attention. I've been told that I seek attention and I should pray about it. Medication is never a solution. Not an advice, but they were like, so you'll be taking meds for crazy people. I was diagnosed with postnatal depression shortly after giving birth. Did people not say it's because I didn't breastfeed my child, and if I breastfeed it will go away? Like right now I have this thing of getting, like, when something makes me very, like, it's shocking, like I get this tingly feeling under my skin. And the last one that I read, like, obviously, like, I feel some type of way even though I'm smiling. I'm also a person, I get affected by these comments, and I can't imagine for a new mother experiencing postnatal depression, which is one of the worst things that you could ever experience, because you are made to feel, I don't have a child, but a lot of mothers are made to feel like you should be grateful, you have this bundle of joy, when your hormones, what you are feeling, say something different, and people will make you feel bad. Like, they blamed her for not, like, if she, like, for saying that she didn't breastfeed, that's why she's feeling that way. And sometimes people basile, like, they are literally those people that are English sometimes, but sometimes people are really, like, people are mean, intend to be mean, and then some people don't realize that they're being mean or ignorant. So I had to actually grow up and learn, because I used to like be ready to tell a person how ignorant they are and everything like that, and I've grown out of it. I still correct people when I see that, you know what, here you are wrong. This is, you know, and I'm not all knowing, I can be wrong as well, but I refrain from saying someone is ignorant, because a lot of people grew up in certain, like, say for instance, if you grew up in a small town like Kwakwa, for me, I found that a lot of people are insensitive to mental health illnesses, and obviously they bucket you as you are crazy, you're just not part of society, you're weak, you can't control your mind. And a lot of people like that, imagine someone like that who thinks like that of a mental illness, and you disclose with them, and then obviously they're gonna say mean things. Like, I've had people being like, African women don't experience mental health issues or depression, that thing is for white people, which is within the black community as well. Mental health, I think we are not taught about it. I'm not saying that the other communities don't have the same stigmas and stuff, like the stigma everywhere. I was at the optometrist, and she was just you know, you have to fill in a form, and that the whole time I was so close to ticking, because she kept on making a lot of ignorant comments about mental illness and making me feel like I'm half of a person because I have it. And she was not a black person, she was a Caucasian person. So yeah, that's that with that. Let's go back to the video. So guys, I want to give you 5 reasons why your bad advice, because I'm gonna just bucket it, your bad advice can actually push someone to end up, or your bad advice or your judgments, like, oh, you are so dramatic, get over it, everybody experiences pain. One thing I talked about on Sipo's video was when you are in high school, or when you're in varsity, or when you're an adult, you are bound to, because I had to change memory cards. But firstly, your mean comments, like you seek too much attention, the pain, everybody experiences pain, it will pass, and you are seeking attention, chill, you'll get over it. If somebody is not getting over something, it's an indication that they have a mental health problem sometimes, and they need to seek professional help. And you saying those things makes it worse, because someone will keep on experiencing these emotions that are non-ending, and you gave the person advice like, oh, you get over it, everyone goes through pain, instead of saying seek professional help, because I don't understand why this is happening. I'll make an example that I did make on Sipo's channel, and I was like, you know what, in high school people date, and then we all, like, people experience heartbreak, people break up, and people get over it. But when what I saw as a red flag for me is that I didn't get over it. I didn't get over pain. I'd feel pain, and it just went on, and then next thing I was just all doom and gloom, which was my first indicator that I might have a mental health problem. But obviously, being in high school, I did say that I was in denial about it, and I didn't want it to be that. So I was willing to even accept a hypothyroidism diagnosis, which was not true. I was going through a depressive episode, but because it's always like, just get over it, just move on, just be okay. Like, now you are irritating, like you're seeking attention, or you're always crying, you're so annoying, we don't want to chill with you. Those type of things are very harmful, and they could prevent someone from getting help. And the way the person is treated, if somebody, because I suffer from bipolar disorder, and I always share that I've never had depressive episode where I felt like I would self-harm, but some people do end up self-harming, and some people end up committing suicide because of these comments the people around them make. If your family and your friends are making these comments and you're not getting help, obviously it's gonna keep on getting worse. And guys, mental health is a disease and can lead to death. Even if the person takes their own life, for them to get to that point is because of the mental illness. Those people, and you know, there's these comments as well that you are so selfish. Imagine if someone attempts to commit suicide. I'm not advocating for it or anything, but I'm making you aware of how this is so bad, that some people, right after they try a few weeks, they'll try again until they're successful, because once they come out of that, their families won't even take them to therapy or anything. They'll just tell them how ungrateful they are and so forth. And when someone is in an episode, their hormones are screwed up, like the brain is lit up with the wrong hormones, so they do need to see a psychiatrist, and medication will most probably help, and therapy. So now this brings me to the second point, where people advise smoke weed. Go smoke weed, it will help. This actually ends up building dependency on drugs, because a lot of people will numb their pain with drinking alcohol. Because I always say, going back to substances, please don't encourage someone who's going through mental illnesses to now take drugs or alcohol or something, especially if they're going through like an episode, because that will actually make things worse for them and not better. And this thing of telling people, I read so many comments, and I get so many comments, oh yeah, I think I have depression, I think I have bipolar, I think I have this and this, or I've actually been diagnosed with this, but I refuse to be on medication, like I can't be on medication for the rest of my life. And I want people to be aware that these things are you can live a normal life with medication, but without medication, you are constantly going to be struggling. And I'm not saying it's, you know what, I'm not a psychiatrist, And I know some people do go through periods where they can't handle grief, but they end up going out of that and they don't have to depend on medication. But some mental illnesses, guys, they need medication for management. Remember, I'm not a doctor, I don't have a medical anything, and you don't have to take my advice. If you want to listen to me, you can. If you don't want, it's okay. If you're going to be constantly embarrassed of taking medication to manage your mental health and to get yourself better, and you'd rather be constantly in an episode where you are irrational, where you feel out of place, where you feel sad, instead of actually taking medication that's going to make you have some sort of like balance and normalcy in your life, where you can look forward to things, where you can be part of society, where you can actually see growth in your life, where you can see progress in your life. I've had people that will be like, yeah, you don't understand, I can't be like you, I can't work, I can't it's very difficult, some of us have a mental illness. And I've had this conversation with someone who made me feel very bad for my progress in life, and they didn't know that I have the same mental illness. Actually, the person has bipolar disorder, and I was basically being made to feel bad for where I am in my life. And I said, you're not the only person with a mental illness. It's just you like it's that thing of you choose not to take medication because you don't want to be labeled a certain way. But then again, your mental illness is making you so sick that you can't see any progress in your life. Everything is so overwhelming. You can't manage stress, you can't manage heartache, you can't manage, because those things are part of life. And if you have a mental illness, it's an illness. You can't handle a lot of things. And the reason why I've been able to handle so many things and to be able to move, yes, I do relapse, but being able to pick myself up is because I rely on modern medicine, and that's okay. The other thing, you should pray about it. Somebody said I should go on a Daniel fast. Then if I'm internally in peace, my physical health and everything will be okay. So I should basically stop drinking medication. I should just pray about it, fast, and mental health. I will not have mental health issues. It's because of spiritual wars that I'm having. Guys, mental health is not that. For me to have had bipolar disorder, these things are hereditary, or you are born with it. It's not, because now you are making someone feel like, oh, you are not praying enough, or you are not meditating. People say you should meditate. You are not meditating. You are not in tune with your chakra, or whatever. And it's not the case. It's an illness. Would you tell somebody who's suffering with cancer to stop chemo that's helping them and just rely on a fast and prayer? Would you tell someone that's been in a car accident, you know what? No, don't go to the hospital. Don't go get assistance at the hospital. Just pray. I'm not saying prayer doesn't help, but also I think if God gave people the brains to be able to come up with modern medicine, hospitals and everything, he knew there would be illness and people would depend on professionals to help them with their illnesses. I am not, please don't quote me on my Bible or God knowing skills. I'm not gonna go into that argument. I'm not even gonna start with that. But what I'm just trying to get at, would you tell someone who is HIV positive not to take their ARVs and just rely on prayer? Yes, I do agree. Having a positive outlook in life, going the extra mile to just have your mental state be okay, yes, you can do that, but professional help does help you. And a lot of time this thing happens in Black communities, and I think it's one of the reasons why when I got my diagnosis, I knew that I needed help, and I am gonna take my medication. I knew that. And what I've seen in Black communities. Either people stop taking their medication too soon, like in the first 2 weeks or so you will experience side effects. It's something that's foreign to your body. Obviously it's new, you'll experience side effects, you will sleep a lot probably, but once you are used to it, you can manage, you can be able to just drink your pills, be able to sleep at night, wake up, have a normal day like anyone. Like after you come out of hospital or after you are given this medication, you will take time to adjust. You won't just miraculously tomorrow you are fine. You'll take time to adjust, but people don't take that period to let the medication work, which is not a good thing. And then another thing in black societies is that I speak only of our society because that's the only one that I'm exposed to. I'm not saying that I'm comparing to other societies or to other races. No, I'm not. I'm just speaking to what I grew up with, what I know, and what I've seen in the communities I grew up with. A lot of people, once they start having mental health issues, like spiritual, it's a spiritual calling. There are people that genuinely have spiritual calling, and yes, please don't come here and tell me about, hey, they worship the dead. There's no such thing. Okay, I'm not gonna start with this one, but please, for me, I respect people with spiritual callings, and I know that there is such a thing. If and these people go through the process because they really do have a calling and a gift. But someone with a mental illness that is delusional, some people are schizophrenic, they're delusional and thing, it doesn't mean they have a spiritual calling. Like guys, when I'm going through my deepest anxiety, like when I have actually a mix of really everything that comes with having bipolar disorder, I experience the most vivid nightmares of random things, and it doesn't mean I have a spiritual calling. Some things exist in our subconscious. We watch scary ass movies, there's a lot of things, but once I am in a relapse and I'm experiencing anxiety and everything, these things come out in my dreams. And once I'm on my medication and I'm okay, I'm still a normal person. It doesn't tranquilize me, it doesn't do anything to me, it just helps my hormones. I'm still able to make decisions, I'm still able to function normally. Like it helps me be myself, the myself that I know, and not the person that the mental illness makes me out to be. So that's me on my chat about medication, and I've done videos before, I'll link them here, about specifically medication. So please don't listen to people who say you shouldn't be on mental health medication forever, especially if you have certain mental illnesses. Yes, talk to a psychiatrist. If your psychiatrist says you can, then maybe they are professionals, they can tell you if you should be or shouldn't be on certain. I think I've covered all the comments. And then yes, postpartum depression, another thing that I'm very afraid of, and another thing I want to speak of, but I want to speak about it on the Ngwenya's house, that I've been seriously like considering that when I have money I might go for the surrogacy option because of my mental health, because of why I like, there's so many reasons. Some are superficial, some are real concerns, but we'll speak about it with my husband. But with regards to people judging parents for how they parent and for having depression after giving birth, like, you guys are so mean, and I can't even speak on this that much. I did speak on it a bit when I read it, but you guys are so mean. Can you please just stop being mean to people with mental illnesses? You guys are sensitive to everyone with other illnesses. Mental illness is an illness like any other, and that's why there's medication for it. That's why there are specialists for it, because it's an illness like any other illness. If someone has flu, you would encourage them to go get medication, but no, if someone has mental illness, you tell them hore, they'll get over it. Or if they are going to be on crazy people medication, what are you saying? Like, those things are very rude, they're very insensitive, and your unsolicited advice is not always welcome. Your comments can lead someone to die, and you're not going to be like, ah, they're too sensitive. There's no such thing. Like, keep it to yourself. If you don't have full understanding of something, rather not comment on it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this video was enlightening, and I hope it taught you something. And if you feel like there's a point where I need correction, please, you can put it in the comment section, but please don't papella me, please. There's a difference between sharing knowledge and having a healthy difference in opinion. But as soon as you are rude or papella, I will just block you, because you don't want to feel my full wrath. Anyhow, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want more of these videos, please do put in the comment section specifically topics you want to speak about, because sometimes I get inspiration for the most of the time actually I get inspiration for the mental health topics through things that I go through myself. Then I decide to share with everyone, because I know there might be people going through that. But yeah, to end of this video, guys, be kind to people. People are going through a lot, and mental health is an illness like any other illness. Every time